I think we were very fortunate in the early days to have people like this interacting with us on everything.
So now we live in a digital period where people don't buy any more records.
It's very sad times.
How complicated is it for you to still produce music?
Well, it's interesting because perhaps it's a kind of stubbornness or something, but I find it more challenging now. And here we have a wonderful studio where I kind of come to work, you know, most days unless I'm traveling or something. And we are constantly working on new things. So I think that obviously it's a terrible tragedy for the music business that there aren't record stores, because I do like the physicality of records, and like I love bookshops also, where you can go and browse through looking for different things, and suddenly you find something unexpected that you weren't thinking about. And, it's a shame, but you have to look on the positive side that with the internet and websites and so on, that fans have a great kind of tool where they can get quite close to you, and so we try and make that side of it interesting, give people more information. We have a very good archive of stuff from the past, so that's something the fans find quite interesting to access. We still believe very much here in making physical records, though, and because I like doing the covers and the books and so on. We're planning a book at the moment, and so we're finding other ways to be creative outside of the straight formula of album and tour, which is making the work all the more interesting. We now kind of have someone here in the office, a studio, who makes documentary films of stuff that we do. So it's there's a lot of good stuff happening now, which didn't happen before.
Is it hard to find something new to sing?
Oh yeah, it is. Which is why I like so much doing instrumental things. But we are currently working on an album of new material, new songs, which will come out either at the end of this year or the beginning of the next. We're actually doing quite a long tour later in the year, which will feature the jazz cat as well as the rock band. So it's going to be an interesting tour where we're going to have a very varied program, lots of instruments and lots of different sounds.
You didn't do well. Roxy Music didn't release anything new album since '82, I think.
Yeah.
Will be some project with Roxy Music in the future?
I don't think so. We did a reunion tour in 2001, which was a great success, and we enjoyed that. But since then, we've done one or two Roxy concerts, but no recording. It seems that now I much prefer to work in the studio as a solo artist. But however, I have a team of people who work with me on the solo albums, who've been with me for quite a long time. Colin Good for 12 years, young Ollie Thompson, the guitar player. These are all, he's been with me 5 years, I think. So there's quite a team that's become a new kind of group for me, really. But the Roxy history is very important to me, but it's not something I think we would revisit in the studio.
So So I want to ask you something. You know, I guess you must know Serge Gainsbourg in France.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Serge Gainsbourg was a painter in the beginning of his career, and he was afraid to be poor as a painter.
Yeah.
And he decided to do some music.
Yeah,
and
I recognize the feeling. Yeah.
He destroyed all his paintings.
Oh, really?
When he was young.
Hmm.
And if you didn't join Roxy Music in the beginning of the 70s,
Yeah.
what kind of painter would have you become? Would have you become a painter?
I don't know. I mean, I love the world of art and still do. I mean, I still go to galleries and exhibitions and stuff and follow that world fairly closely. But I found it quite a kind of solitary business being a painter when I was at college, and compared with the world of music where there's lots of interaction, you know, with other people. And I like to work as a team with others, you know. Collaboration is quite important to me, I think, and that's something that you can do in music. Obviously, when you're writing the songs, that's quite a lonely pursuit. I mean, it's, you're there on your own with a piano and that's it. But as soon as you bring the song into the studio and start bringing other musicians in, it becomes this collaborative thing, which is quite exciting for me. Same with performing live. Then you have the band with you and also the audience to interact as well. So it's more what I like to do. It's I studied at a place called Newcastle University where Richard Hamilton was the main teacher, and he was like the leading English pop artist. And we all kind of were very much in awe of him, and he had a big influence on the students there. So like him, we were very interested in American popular culture, and we felt very close to the people in New York who worked, like Andy Warhol and Jasper Johns and Rauschenberg. These are the people that we admired, and but my way of creating something new was to do it in music, and but I think somehow my kind of art school background was very important to I don't know, to help me think as an artist or something. It's hard to really pin down, but what I did like about Hamilton, who was my teacher, he did some collage pieces which were very influential on me, I think, because I ended up, especially on the early albums, using a kind of collage technique really with music and putting together different musical genres within the same song, which I found very interesting to do. And I think I've just continued throughout my career to explore different aspects of music, and that's kept my kind of interest alive, to be able to delve into different musical styles, and for example, the Jazz Age. Yeah.
I think we did it.
Thank you very much.